So welcome back to the channel. Today we're at Swiftcut HQ here with Dan. He's going to show us around the manufacturing process of what it takes to put a CNC plasma cutter together. And the best thing about it is built in the UK. So I'm quite proud of that and quite pleased to be here today promoting a UK company.
100%. You know, we're very proud of that fact too. 75 to 80% of the materials that go into a Swiftcut are manufactured locally.
Oh, brilliant. So the production process starts just behind us here. These are actually the heads. Are these the heads and the motors?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
So what would this part be? What is this part? This is the part which holds the plasma cutter, is it?
Correct, yeah. So this is the torch holder here.
Yeah.
You can see this is a 360-degree breakaway assembly, which basically protects the torch in the event of collision. So this bit's all assembled here. All these plates are all assembled, all the bolts are torqued, motors attached, and it's all tested, ready to go on to the next stage.
Okay. So getting it all together here.
Yep.
Then we're going to move across. These are the electronic circuit boards, are they?
That's it, yeah. So this is what we call the back box. This sits on the back of the machine and basically does all the controlling.
This is the brain of the machine.
Correct.
So these circuit boards, you're actually branded as well, a Swiftcut circuit board.
Yep. Make sure we get our logo on as many things as we can.
So this is controlling what?
The motion of the machine, basically.
Right,
so
okay.
There's kind of two computers, as it were. You've got this at the back of the machine, and then you've got a PC inside the operator's console.
Okay.
And that's obviously giving the information to this, which is controlling the table itself.
So for all that, what it does, it actually looks quite simple, actually. There's not that much to go wrong, and also as well, like the circuit breaker that's here.
Yep.
They're like readily available anyway, aren't they?
Anywhere we can, we try and choose stuff that's in stock, popular resellers and things. So if there's any issues, repairs can be made very quickly.
Same day,
exactly,
next day.
Exactly.
We're not waiting for something to come from miles away that takes weeks.
Correct. That's a key part of our Swiftcut philosophy and design. Is the fact that these machines can be repaired quickly and easily, and by somebody who hasn't necessarily got a skill set to normally do this thing. We make it as easy as possible for the average operator to be able to repair these systems.
Oh, lovely. So now we move downstairs. These are
the consoles. So it's the cut and fold materials for the consoles. There's a finished one,
and that's got the. I'm not going to take that off because I'll break it. But that's like the TV monitor,
correct.
Computer screen.
That's your touch screen. Yeah.
That's your touch screen.
That's it.
So coming all around the world, these go, don't they?
Exactly. So the kits come in, again, manufactured locally, painted, folded, comes into here, and then this is the little assembly line where we start to build up those consoles.
Lovely. And then behind us here, these are all the motors we just looked at upstairs being assembled. Now they've got the outside covering on to protect the internals.
Correct. So what happens next is those heads that we've seen up there, they go over to that site across there, where they're assembled onto the gantry, and then all the metal work is attached.
So inside the console, all this wiring harness.
Yep.
You say you actually make all this as well?
Yeah, so as much as we can, we try and make the wiring harnesses ourselves. So upstairs we've got all the materials and connections and bits and pieces you need to put these together.
Even putting the end plugs on?
Yep, as much as we can in-house.
Yeah. So these are the overhead gantries?
That's correct, yeah.
So this sits on top of the plasma cutter, which obviously moves up and down. And just over here, look, you can see the heads starting to be assembled and put together.
Yeah, so throughout the week these would be built up, so they come in as just a bit of aluminium extrusion, and then all the linear rail, the driving rack, the head of the machine all gets attached and built up during the course of the week.
Okay, and then just behind us over here, you've got each one's tested, is it?
100%, yeah. So it's a test rig here, purposely built for testing this part of the machine. So we run it through a series of programs. We're checking for tolerances, for accuracies and things. They'll then get a pass. If it goes past, you'll go on to the next stage, ready to go onto the machine itself.
And if you look over there, all lined up, ready to go on plasma tables. So all these plasma cutter heads, these are all ready to go on the plasma tables, which we're now going to go and have a look at down over here as well. So this is one of the XP tables because it's black.
Correct, yep. So this is a dedicated XP assembly area. We have one person working on these every week.
Oh, wow. These are like the super professional plasma tables, aren't they?
So it's a heavy duty version of the Pro table for thicker plates.
I was just looking at it as well. You've got pallet tine forks there.
Yep.
And in front.
And the front of the machine as well, yeah.
So you can just pick them up and move them wherever you want to?
Yep.
So that's quite handy. So say if you've got it in one corner of the workshop and you want to move it, all you do is unplug it and just pick the whole thing up and move it somewhere else.
Correct, yep.
So this here is actually a Swiftjet Pro, which is a water jet cutter, isn't it?
Yep, that's correct, yep. So this is a 3 by 1.5 metre water jet.
Right, and so this is what it starts. This isn't made here, but it is made in the UK, isn't it?
Correct, yeah. So this is made about 35 minutes away from here.
Okay, so that'll all be folded, welded.
Painted, and then it arrives ready for assembly.
Excellent. What's going on down the side here?
That's a calibration jig for the rail alignment on the side of the machine, so it's a laser alignment tool.
Yeah, so you
make sure we get them.
Putting these on here so that gantries we looked at over there, they run up and down the machine.
That's correct, yep.
And then these are the plasma cutter tables, aren't they?
Correct, yeah. So we've got 4 bays here. There's 3 machines in at this time.
Yep.
The base will come in like it is now, like a bare base.
Yep.
And then as we go through the days, weeks, we build everything up. So we're putting the cutter decks in there, we're attaching the rails, linear guides, and all the other attachments to the table. So these will slowly get built up throughout the week, and by the end of it, you'll have a completed table. Next
plasma table on the production line.
Yeah, so this is a similar stage to the last one.
Yep.
Rails are going on.
An ESAB brand.
Branding's already on. Important
Yep.
to get the safety stickers as well on there at this point.
But they are designed in the UK as well, aren't they?
Designed in the UK, cut in the UK, sported in the UK.
Brilliant. So your support package in the offices next door,
Yep.
if you have a problem, you can ring.
Yeah, if you call SwiftCut, you'll go to the guys in the support team.
And then they can take over your plasma table just being on the phone.
That's exactly right. So they can take control of the console.
Yep.
And using the app, the My SwiftCut app, you can also use your phone's camera, so you can actually see the table and what it's actually doing.
Brilliant.
So for determining faults or if there's an issue, it's very easy for us to quickly diagnose the problem and obviously get it fixed and back up and running.
Brilliant. That's just what we like. Here we've got the first gantry on, which we looked at a minute ago.
Yep, so the gantry's on this one and it's been bull bar tested.
Lovely.
Yep. So
they're actually quite simple, aren't they?
They are pretty simple, yeah.
Well, you say that laughing.
Well, they are as simple. We try and keep it as simple as possible.
Yep. Emergency stops as well. So when I stick my hand in it, it can't.
Yeah, there's 3 stops. So there's one on each end of the gantry. There's one on the operator's console as well.
Right, lovely. What else can you say? Why is this? Oh, this is a waterbed one, isn't it?
This is a waterbed one, correct? Yep. So this would just be a tray where you fill up the water when it.
Whereas that one we looked at back there a minute ago, it's quite deep and it had like suction bits on it for the.
So it's basically got zone sections.
Yeah.
So on the downdraft version, it has an actuator that moves along and it opens up a particular section of the table.
Okay.
Where it's actually doing the cutting.
Got some more electronics around the back here.
So this is the back box that we saw being assembled up in the upstairs area.
Yeah, okay.
That's part of the brains of the machine.
Nice and easy. They do look quite smart as well, don't they?
Yeah, the design, I mean, again, everything's fully welded.
It's not stitch welded, it's all completely.
It's all completely welded. And the other thing is as well, it's a very small footprint. So, this is a 3 metre table and it's not much, longer than 3 metres kind of thing. So if you've got a small workshop, it's very easy to fit these tables in.
How many different sizes of these do you do then?
In this particular range, we've got 4 sizes.
Okay.
So 1250 by 1250 is the smallest.
Yep.
And it goes right up to a 4 metre by 2 metre.
Lovely. So like the small one you could get in like a normal household garage.
Exactly, yep.
And then this one here would be like a, let's say, farm workshop, maybe engineering workshop sort of size.
That's it. I mean, 3 metre by 1.5 metre table is probably our most popular size.
Oh, right, okay. And then the XP one over there, that would be more of a professional outfit or something that's doing serious cutting.
Yeah, so it's a heavy duty machine for doing the thicker plate.
Okay.
That's available in a 3 by 1.5 or a 4 by 2.
Lovely. Right, what is this just here?
So this is the results of a bull bar test. It's basically a calibration procedure that we carry out in all machines.
Right.
So before the table gets its final sign-off and gets wrapped ready for sending out, we do a calibration test to make sure the accuracy of the machine is within the tolerances that we expect.
So this is in the final stages now.
Correct.
Of being put together.
This machine will be wrapped, in the next half an hour.
And then off it goes.
Off it goes anywhere around the world.
Come to the spare parts now. These are all the
that's all the drive rack.
Drive racking.
Yeah.
For different machines.
Yep.
Down here.
It's all the linear rail, the different lengths of linear rail that are cut to size.
Yeah. Oh look, I like the look of this. Sorry, mind your way.
That's all your consumables, so you know what the machine uses.
These are all the plasma cutting tips, are they?
Yep. So, hey.
No, I won't do that. Look up here as well. It gives us the Swift Cut story. So what's this? Started in 2011.
That's it.
First Mark 1 machine exhibited at the Lammer Show.
Correct, yeah, so very big at the Lammer Show back then.
Right, 2012, Swift Cut Pro Mark 2.
Yep.
What's this, 2013?
That's where we expanded into the second unit, so we're in Kings Bromley, which is about 20 minutes from here.
Signed up Australian partner. First container shipped to Australia. That's quite a big moment, isn't it?
It was a very big event, yep.
And then it continues around the corner here, so we'll just have a look. 2016, the Swifty 610. So would that be the one that Colin had
Correct,
to begin with?
That's Colin's small little orange table, yeah.
And I'll just say that was completely revolutionary to the workshop. You know, when that came, it opened up a complete new world of what could be done out of a garage.
And I know he loves it, and still loves it.
Still loves it, and he's also got, what's the other table he's got now?
He's got a Pro 2.5, so 2.5 metre table now.
So that's the one I would hopefully like, but we will see. 2017, the 1,000th machine sold.
Yep.
2018, and you've stopped there, but now, where are we at now? You're actually an ESAB brand now, aren't you?
We're an ESAB brand, so we were acquired by ESAB 2 years ago. We've now sold our 5,000th machine. So we're selling between 450, 500 machines a year at this point.
Okay.
So yeah, much bigger business. So the timeline continues in the other buildings now.
How many machines do you think you're doing a year then?
Between 450 and 500 machines a year.
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at what we've got down here, some spare parts, because I can see some plasma cutters, hypertherms. What are they?
So we've got some different hypertherm plasma power sources there.
Yeah. These are like a small one, a 45.
Yeah, so 45 XP, that will cut up to 12 mil.
Okay.
12 mil mild steel.
And then we've got some big ones down here as well.
Yes, there's some bigger systems. You've got some 85 amp systems.
Yep.
Got some ESAB systems as well. So obviously the high definition power sources are also available for the XP system.
Okay, I can see that's a water jet cutter as well.
Yes, so that's the bulk hopper, main hopper for the water jet.
Do you carry quite a lot of stock? So
we have to carry every single part.
Do you really?
So all the parts that you see around us are what's made and what's put on every single table.
Right.
So if someone needs a spare part and you're in the middle of a job, you need to be able to get it out as fast as possible.
Could you have a part to somebody the next day?
Oh, for sure, 100%.
So if my machine broke down at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd ring you up, you'd dispatch it that day.
Get it dispatched and get it to you for the next day,
Yeah, that's efficient. We like efficient.
Thank you. The parts. If you come down here, you can see all like the torch assemblies, torch holders. You can take these off. Again, these are all made by a company in Burton. Local CNC machined, and these are all what form part of the picks.
Not made in China.
Not made in China.
UK.
That's it.
Everyone always goes on about there's no manufacturing in the UK anymore, but I visit quite a few places, and there is a lot of manufacturing that actually happens in the UK still.
And the Swift Cut market is huge in the UK. So there's a lot of people buying Swift Cuts because they're making products. So it's
supporting the UK economy, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Should we have a walk down here? What else have we got? Little wiring harnesses. Little button there, look. You've literally got everything, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've got lots of it. You've not just got like one of each.
No. That's exactly right. But when you're making 450, 500 tables a year, you have to, these are replenished, emptied and replenished weekly. You know, springs, circuit boards,
Yep.
everything you could want, plugs, fastenings, fixings.
I see you've done stock take as well.
We've done a stock take, correct? Yep.
Yep.
These items are picked on a daily basis, and they're basically built up into a kit. And at the end of the week, those kits are shipped up to building 1, ready for the next week for the next build assembly.
Forgot to say we're actually in like 4 different buildings, aren't we?
Yeah, so this is building 3.
So building 3 is the parts.
Correct.
Building 1 is production. Building
2 is sales and the demonstration.
That was in my last video where we had a look.
And we have a 4th building 10 minutes down the road where we do in-house fabrication of the bases and storage.
What's we got here? We've got some thick cable here.
Yeah,
That's for earth cable.
Correct, yeah. So earth leads.
I know what I'm on about, apparently. So thank you very much to Dan. Dan's shown us around the Swift Cut production line. Nice and relaxed visit today. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it. There's some real good bit of British engineering going on behind these doors, isn't there?
Definitely, yeah.
So yeah, I like that as well. So we're going to go in now and have a talk about a few bits. Maybe if one might turn up in my workshop. Maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all soon.